Page 130. Lechun Adonai Adonai. Nariya L'Tzuri Sheinu. Come, let us sing joyously to God. Raise a shout out for our rock and deliverer. Page 130. Lechun Adonai. Nariya L'Tzuri Sheinu. Lechun Adonai. Nariya L'Tzuri Sheinu. Nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo. Nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo. Lechunaranena l'Adonai nariya L'Tzuri Sheinu. Lechunaranena l'Adonai nariya L'Tzuri Sheinu. Nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo. Nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo. El Gadol Adonai umelech Gadol al kol Elohim. Ki El Gadol Adonai umelech Gadol al kol Elohim. Ki El Gadol Adonai umelech Gadol al kol Elohim. Ki El Gadol Adonai umelech Gadol al kol Elohim. Unaranena l'Adonai nariya L'Tzuri Sheinu. Unaranena l'Adonai nariya L'Tzuri Sheinu. Nekadma fanav betoda מזמירות נריע לו לקדמת פניו בתודה מזמירות נריע לו. Page 132, Or Zarua la Tadik, Ulishre Lev Simcha, light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. Page 132. Tzadik, zaru ala tzadik, or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik, or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik, or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik, kulli yishrei lev simcha, kulli yishrei lev simcha. Yishrei lev simcha, Yishrei lev simcha. Oh, zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. Or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. Or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. Or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. Kulli yishrei lev simcha, kulli yishrei lev simcha, kulli yishrei lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. So Kabbalat Shabbat is all about welcoming Shabbat. We turn to page 138 and we welcome the Sabbath bride with the words of Lecha Dodi. And so just as we prepare Shabbat, as we prepare the white tablecloth for the Shabbat table, our dinner, our beautiful dinner, our candles, our challah, which I'm sure we've all baked freshly and is waiting for us, making our homes smell beautiful as we arrive. So too we welcome the Sabbath bride with the words of Lecha Dodi, page 138. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה אדוני לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך אדוני לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת כלה בני שבת לקבלה לחתוני לקראת כלה בני שבת לקבלה חתוני לקראת כלה בני שבת לקבלה לחתוני לקראת כלה בני שבת לקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת מלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לחתוני לקראת כלה בני שבת לקבלה לחתוני לקראת כלה בני שבת לקבלה יאללה לילה 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 לחתוני לקראת כלה בני שבת לקבלה לחתוני לקראת כלה בני שבת לקבלה. Gerald. Yep.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Thank you. Good Shabbos. Please take this occasion to wish your very best to those seated to your left and to your right and front and behind. A very warm welcome and a good Shabbos to those following in the comfort of their living rooms. And this soggy, cold, and wet Parashat Noach weekend. Please be seated. The West End Synagogue aspired to create a project with its membership some years ago to create interpretive readings for use throughout the Jewish year, but particularly on Shabbat, and gave permission to us to share some of those, and I'd like to introduce them gradually as additions to our service, the first one of which is written by a Mark Nazimova, and it's called Receiving Shabbat. He writes, "Dusk deepens, the frenetic pace of creation is stilled. May we open our eyes to wonder, open our bodies to rest, open our minds to peace, and may we, in our renewed innocence, sail on this halcyon Shabbat sea till dusk next returns. The halcyon Shabbat sea. That's a pretty good turn of phrase. We're going to continue now from the Psalms, people of unusual spirit, who also were known for their turn of phrase, from Psalm number 92 on page 140.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. Page 140. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
להגיד בבוקר חסדיך, באמונתך בלילות, עליך סוב עלינה, והרי היגיון בחינות.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך חנן. מה כתוב מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש רעה לא ידע, וחזיר לא יבין עצות.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה יפרח, כארץ בלבנון, בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהים יפריחו
עוד ינועון בסבע, בשנים ורעננים יהיו
להנין ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולת בו. On page 142, Shalom Aleichem, the words in the melody by Debbie Friedman. With the last verse, she said, Shuvchem, return in peace. Just as we go out in peace, so too may we return in peace. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, בי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, מלכי השרת, מלכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שובכם לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, בי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, מלכי השרת, מלכי עליון, בי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. We rise on page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish and the call to prayer. Amen. Bagala, bagala, ובזמן קריב. אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעלם ולעל מעל מיה, יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שם קודשה
בריחו
להאמין כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה להאמיר רק בעלמה.
ואמרו
אמן.
ברכו את אדוני
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. Please be seated if you'll join with me on page 148 in the Hebrew. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim בחוכמה פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המריב ערבים. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אתה תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשובנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוגיך
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, וברכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות הידיך, והיו לתותבות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו הציצית הכנף בתיר תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם,
Adonai Elohechem Emet. You'll join with me on page 156 at the bottom of the page in the English. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all of Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously and singing this song. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah ve'elim ilot, Oseh ve'eleh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני קהל ישראל. On page 160, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our sovereign, to life renewed. Page 160. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom. ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים ולשלום ולשלום. השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אלוהינו לשלום, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal One, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts, eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Ashkivenu, Ashkivenu, Eloheinu leshalom. Baruch ata Adonai, haporetz sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Eternal One. Your shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. On page 162, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat. This Shabbat is our covenant for all time.
ושמרו בני ישראל, ושמרו את השבת.
לעשות את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. לעשות את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לעשות את השבת לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי, שבת
rise on page 164, and we'll chant the first three of the benedictions as a community and then continue in silence, whether using the words of our prayer book or the words of our hearts. Page 164, the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehiratecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagimor v'Hanora Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Mekoneh Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot U'mevii Gula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Uzer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Be'Yisrael Tzara Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayim Meitim Atah Rav Yehoshia Mashiv Harach U'Morid HaGeshem Masiach HaShemesh U'Morid HaTal Mechakeh Chayim Bechesed Mechayim Meitim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umkayim Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'Gevorot Umitov Melach Melech Mimitzul Chayeh Umasmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atah L'chayot Meitim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaMeitim Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha HaKadosh U'Kdoshim b'chol yom Yehallelu Chasera Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
יהיו לרצון אמרי-פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai Tzuri v'goali, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. וגואלי, וגואלי.
And to those who didn't hear that, good evening, everyone. On October 27th, 2018, almost exactly 4 years ago, 11 worshipers at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh were murdered. The heinous act, the massacre that occurred there, was perpetrated by a 46-year-old white nationalist anti-Semite who justified his hunting expedition by claiming that the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, which has for more than a century been providing nothing more or less than extraordinary benevolent service to those who come to the U.S., and to communities around the world. He said that they were bringing invaders into the U.S. to kill our people. And they had held a meeting at the Tree of Life Synagogue sometime earlier that month. He was active on social media. He was a right-winger, drawing inspiration from neo-Nazi figures, having expressed racist views, and applauded those who in 2017 had marched in Charlottesville, Virginia, as part of the Unite the Right rally, at which, and as many will recall, ominously, the crowd marched with tiki torches, shouting, "The Jews will not replace us." Imagine. The massacre in Pittsburgh took place amid a climate of xenophobia, of Jew hatred, and right-wing fanaticism that continues to be fueled by public figures, none less than the twice impeached, utterly disgraceful former U.S. President Donald Trump. It is fueled, too, by a gun culture which, to those of us living in Australia, is completely unfathomable. Tonight at TBI, as in congregations around the Jewish world, we remember the 11 innocent victims and will recite Kaddish in their memory in just a few moments. It would be some consolation, I would imagine, to think that since that time 4 years ago, Jew hatred in America had run its course, had been addressed, that common sense had returned. But sadly, albeit not unsurprisingly to those who know their Jewish history, that is not true. Not there, not here, or nearly anywhere else. Instead, 4 years after 11 Jews were killed in a modern-day pogrom, anti-Semitic attacks and offensive, threatening, intimidating discourse, especially on social media, have grown more common and more brazen. The former U.S. president, too, has weighed in, warning American Jews, as some of you would have heard, that they ought to support him before it is too late. Before it is too late. Too late for what? Many of us are aware of the controversy revolving this last fortnight around Kanye West. Have you been following this story? The rap star, or whatever he's doing now, an entrepreneur, has doubled down on some of the most pernicious anti-Semitic tropes. That Jews control the media, that Jews exploit black people who are, after all, in his opinion, the original Jews, that Jews control financial institutions. He has been on quite a roll, and most recently posted a tweet reading, "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people," in all caps. We could shake our heads, consider the source, and say nothing more. But this rubbish, this misbehavior inspires many others who increasingly feel emboldened to shock and scandalize the world and threaten Jews with expressions of Jew hatred. Maybe we should just ignore it. Maybe we should merely shake our heads at Kanye West and his 18 million Twitter followers. Ari Emanuel, writing in the Financial Times, said of Kanye West, "West is not just any person. He is a pop culture icon, not for me and for you, but for many. With millions of fans all around the world, and among them, and this is most important, are young people whose views are still being formed. That is why it is necessary for all of us to speak out. Hatred and anti-Semitism should have no place in our society, no matter how much money is at stake." Should we be satisfied that Kanye West has been punished financially and reputationally for his words? Indeed, in just the last week, many of his business ventures, especially his lucrative fashion deal with Adidas, has been withdrawn, and it's expected that he stands to lose somewhere north of 400 million American dollars as a result, as does Adidas. He's lost his privileges on Twitter for now, although Elon Musk may have something to say about it. He's lost his privileges on Instagram and Facebook. And predictably, we are soon to hear more and more saying that is all about being woke, without sufficient recognition that hate speech divides and threatens people. Kanye West, the Tree of Life Synagogue, there's no end to it, for anti-Semitism is back in fashion. This week, I was thinking back on how polite anti-Semitism used to be when I was growing up. I remember a street in Cleveland Heights, no more than 10 kilometers from my home, where it was clear that redlining was practiced and Jews were not permitted to buy in that street, in that area. We thought it to be quite terrible. I remember how polite anti-Semitism was when it was restricted to quotas at university and bans from country clubs. No, today it's not nearly so polite. there is something afoot. And while I'm not a prophet or the son of a prophet, like many of you, I fear there is worse to come. There is something yet to watch. More pogroms, perhaps, like the one at the Tree of Life Synagogue. Before I finish, I'd like to share with you a couple of contemporary definitions that enlarge our understanding of what may be meant by anti-Semitism. And to do so, I will turn to Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, whose second yahrzeit is coming up only in the next week. In his work called The Mutating Virus, written in 2016, he wrote, "Not liking Jews is not anti-Semitism. We all have people we don't like, and that's okay. That's human. It isn't dangerous. Criticizing Israel," he wrote, "is not anti-Semitism. Criticizing the Israeli government is not anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism, according to Rabbi Sachs, means denying the right of Jews to exist collectively as Jews with the same rights as everyone else. In the Middle Ages," he said, and this is already widely circulated and well known by those who follow Rabbi Sachs, Jews were hated because of their religion. In the 19th and early 20th century, Jews were hated because of their race. Today, we are hated because of our nation state, the state of Israel. He wrote, "It takes different forms, but it remains the same thing. The view that Jews have no equal right to exist as free human beings in the manner everyone else does." Finally, he said, "The ultimate weapon of the new anti-Semitism is dazzling in its simplicity and goes like this. The Holocaust must never happen again, but Israelis are the new Nazis. The Palestinians are the new Jews, and all Jews are Zionists. Therefore, the real anti-Semites of our time are none other than the Jews themselves." This is the perverse world in which we find ourselves. How vigilant we must remain, how we must adhere to the admonition from Deuteronomy chapter 25, Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek, remember that which Amalek did to you. Be attentive. Lo tishkach, do not forget. Shabbat shalom.
So we return to our prayer books. Please rise as we turn to page 586 for the Aleinu. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר נאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
On page 596, we have lived in numberless towns and villages, and in too many of them we have endured cruel suffering. Some we have forgotten, others are sealed in our memory. A wound that does not heal, 100 generations of victims and martyrs. Still their blood cries out from the earth. And so many at Dachau, at Buchenwald, at Babi Yar. What can we say? What can we do? How bear the unbearable or accept what life has brought to our people? All who are born must die. But how shall we compare the slow passage of time with the callous slaughter of the innocent cut off before their time? They lived with faith. Not all, but many. And surely many died with faith in God, in life, in the goodness that even flames cannot destroy. May we find a way to the strength of that faith, that trust, that sure sense that life and soul endure beyond this body's death. They have left their lives to us. Let a million prayers rise whenever Jews worship. Let a million candles glow against the darkness of unfinished lives. On this Shabbat, we remember the following individuals who have passed away in recent days: Harry Crane, Tanchum Levinson, Barry Lewis, Frank Maleb, Eve Rosenberg, and those whose death has occurred within Shloshim, the last 30 days. Sergeant Noah Lazar, Albert Ben Tada, Commander Ido Baruch, Israel Forbes, Keith Hellman, Eva Mandel, Ruth Reese, Naomi Tippett, Dorothea Trapp Boaz, and we lament the loss of those who have died needlessly in Ukraine. And we honor the lives of those whose yortzeit occurs at this season: Joseph Barger, Saul Bernstein, Samson Brand, Leah Cairns, Ann Dory, Janina Jarefsky, Moshe Finkelstein, Ernst Glazer, Rosa Grossbard, George Haywood, Gregory Keith, Stephen Colliner, Margot Kresny, Chaya Cooperwasser, Olga Lipman, Hans Margis, Cyril Mayers, Edward McKenzie, Susie Pask, Kalman Rogers, Frida Rogers, Shirley Samuel, Kurt Selby, Alice Sloman, Alexander Slonim, and Gisela Snow. And we remember the 11 victims of the Tree of Life Synagogue shooting: Joyce Feinberg, Richard Gottfried, Rose Mallinger, Jerry Rabinowitz, Cecil Rosenthal, David Rosenthal, Bernice Simon, Sylvan Simon, Daniel Stein, Melvin Wax, and Irving Younger. Zichronam Livracha. May their memory always be a blessing and an inspiration to those of us who preserve their memory. Kaddish is recited, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'almad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach leolam u'lalmei almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Won't you please be seated?
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. On the behalf of the board, welcome to all those attending this evening's service, either here in person or online. Temple Beth Israel acknowledges that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples are the first peoples of Australia. The Bonorong people of the Kulin Nation are the traditional owners of the land in which this Temple Beth Israel is located, for which they have never ceded sovereignty. We pay our respects to their elders past and present. We have a few announcements this evening. We're excited that our wonderful guest educators, Dr. Simon Holloway and David Slucky, will be returning for Term 4 with courses on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, respectively. Dr. Holloway will provide a taste of Talmudic study, while Dr. Slucky's course is all about Jews and comedy. That's not funny. Book your place now via the Back to School page in the TBI website. Is online as well as in person? Only in person. Okay, thank you. Jews in the News, Rabbi Levi's Jews in the News meets here this Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. So please join us for a lively discussion with Rabbi Levi. In this week's newsletter, you'll find an invitation from Rabbi Roebuck to join his SMS group. It provides subscribers text twice a week, focusing on topics of Jewish curiosity, along with timely notice of upcoming shul events. It is only 160 characters, right? It does sometimes have a link to other areas as well, and it's easy, it's fun, so please consider joining to the Rabbi's SMS group. Thank you to all those that have given generously, both to the Mazon Drive and also to our Kol Nidre appeal. If you would like to make a donation, please, if you could go to the TBI or the Mazon website and donate online, or one can pick up a donation slip here at the foyer or contact the TBI office. Please join us tomorrow morning to wish Mazel Tov to Amelie Kohn and her family as Amelie becomes Bat Mitzvah. So that's 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning. And please, as you leave, if you remember to take your prayer books to the trolley at the rear. So, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Michael. And I'll invite you all to rise. If you wish, you can grab a cup of wine or grape juice from the back. You will find that the red is wine, the white is grape juice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam אשר גירשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen. Shabbat Shalom and bitter.